of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. Today, we have a little bit of a change of scenery. I am taking the podcast on the road today for all of you guys that are watching on YouTube. If you're listening on podcast, you obviously can't see the change in scenery, but we are recording from a Starbucks in Wichita, Kansas today because my brother had state track this morning, as you will hear in the podcast. But we are on the road, a little bit of change of scenery for you guys, but we're still bringing you guys our weekly weather report with Gary Lezak and the Weather 2020 team. Today, we are going to be talking heat waves for this summer. We're going to be talking June. Holy cow, it's the start of a new month in summer. How did that happen? We're almost halfway through the year, which is not, I really would like to not acknowledge that in the slightest, but here we are. We're here with the weather. Gary is talking all things what we're going to be seeing in the Midwest in the next couple months. And then we also touch on hurricane season and our predictions for that, what we're going to kind of be seeing there. As always, make sure you guys check out the show notes, check out that Weather 2020 link. And if you love what we are talking about here, you're going to love that link even more and all of the dashboards and everything that the Weather 2020 team is offering for producers and farmers in the agricultural industry. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this podcast with Gary. Well, Gary, happy Friday. To everyone listening, happy Monday. It is another beautiful day here in Kansas. We're here to talk all things weather, as we always are. And darn it, I don't think I'm ever excited to talk about the weather as much as I am when I'm talking to you about the weather. So
really?
It's a great day.
That is very
to hang
exciting.
out. I'm in a coffee shop.
Lauren, you're in a coffee shop. I'm drinking coffee. So we are really in a Friday mood on a Monday.
Yes.
So this farmer contacted me from southwest Minnesota. He's planted his crops. He's concerned because it was so much cooler than the LRC model predicted. And as much as I want the LRC model to be 100% accurate, remember we are predicting the future. So I went and did an analysis for this farmer in southwestern Minnesota, and our model predicted 3 months ago for May for it to be 70% of average rainfall in his area. And he's literally had 72% of average rainfall. It predicted 1 degree cooler than average. It's been 2 degrees cooler than average. And this 10-day stretch was much cooler than average. And our model did not predict that. So I wrote back to him and I said, hey, listen, thank you for the feedback. How are your crops doing? And he says everything is fine so far, but they're going to need it to rain. And I said, I understand. Well, this dry spell and cooler and dry is actually good, right? And he agreed that it's actually not bad as long as it rains soon. So the outlook for his region is still a struggle to be 70 to 80% of average rainfall, because that's what the LRC does. But we're in the phase of the pattern that produces more widespread rain. We're in that wetter phase that we've been predicting right here on the Cattle USA podcast. We said late May into the first half of June is when this wetter period is going to arrive. And it's late May into the first half of June now. We're right at the beginning of that. So the next 10, 14 days, there will be a series of storms coming across that is directly related to what happened between the end of December and the first half of January. And there was a wetter period in there. So this is happening. There's opportunities for rain and thunderstorms. The places that have been getting hit, like southern Kansas, southern Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, they seem to continue to get hit. The places that get missed seem to continue to get missed. This is what the LRC is. I want it to do something different for you, the farmer out there. I do want that to happen, but it doesn't matter what I want. It all comes down to what is happening in the cycling pattern. And just know, these next 15 days, it may make or break some of the crops out there. Some of them might be broken. A lot of them may be made, because we are going to have those storm systems move across, heavy rain and thunderstorms. Keep in mind, it also comes with increasing severe weather risks. They're right on schedule, and those are also going to come with these chances of rain. That's what I'm seeing, Lauren. Does that add up to you?
Yes, it absolutely adds up. As far as just the rest of summer as we go into past June? What are we kind of thinking for that as well? Are we going to keep on seeing these trend? Are we seeing some shifts? What are your thoughts there?
What happens with the jet stream? The jet stream is caused by temperature contrast. So during the winter, it's minus 50 in central Canada, possibly, minus 50 degrees, minus 40 degrees, and 90 in Mexico. That's 140 degrees in contrast. As we get to the end of June and July, that contrast is about 40 degrees. Now it's 70 in Canada and 110 in the deserts. So you go from 140 degree contrast to 40 degree contrast. So that causes the jet stream to weaken, which ends tornado season. There still could be severe thunderstorms over the summer, so we always have to watch for those, but more likely, less likely to have tornadoes. And then the jet stream shifts north, and that's why the precipitation patterns may shift into Minnesota and North Dakota in the next cycle. So we'll see how that goes. But that is all in progress. Now, what does that mean for possible heat waves? We have the potential for some heat, and if you look at your dashboard, if you have that, or you look at the Global Predictor app, look for when the hottest temperatures are forecast on that LRC app. The Global Predictor Pro is an LRC app that gives you the forecast for the next 6 months. You can go look and say, hey, it may be off by a few degrees, but if it shows 88 to 90 degrees in the first part of July, and then it's 93 to 96 degrees in a 5-day stretch, it might be 100 plus then. It might be a few degrees off. Just know that is the most likely time for a heat wave when you look at the app. I've analyzed, there's a couple of heat waves possible this summer, so hopefully it comes right after it rains, and not before. So there's going to be still some timing issues. Is the timing going to be perfect? In some spots it might be, and in others maybe not so much. But we're looking at that, and you can see it on the LRC model when those heat waves are most likely.
Yes, and I think the biggest emphasis with it is you can see when it's probably going to happen, and then it's probably going to fluctuate a few degrees. You unfortunately don't actually have a crystal ball sitting in front of you, which we would all love if you had that and could provide us with the info and be exact and perfect every time, but that's just not the reality of Mother Nature. She likes to throw some curveballs at us.
Well, I do have the crystal ball. I do have the crystal ball in front of me, though. I'm looking at it right now. And you're right, it isn't 100% accurate. It is not. So I don't have the 100% accurate crystal ball, but I've got the 75% accurate crystal ball. And it's showing
I'll take that.
All these things.
Yes, I love it. As far as outside of the Midwest, going into hurricane season, everything like that, have you guys started to do any predictions for those types of weather outbreaks yet this year?
And if you go to weather2020.com, you can get our hurricane season guide. I put a whole preliminary video out this week, and you can see links to it. If you go to LinkedIn, put a link on there on my profile, so check that out. And you can watch the preliminary one. If you want the full report, it's on our website. It's just $99 a year. You can get $149. You'll have the winter, severe weather, and hurricane guide for the next year ahead. So we're expecting Texas to the Louisiana area a target for this season to be the biggest target. It hasn't been the biggest target for the last couple of years. That biggest target has been the Northeast, Gulf of Mexico, Florida Panhandle area, and that has been the area that's been hit. So this hot spot of Texas and Louisiana and the east coast of Florida, we got to watch the east coast of Florida this year, not the west coast this year. Those are likely the biggest hot spots. The LRC, remember this year it's cycling every 6 weeks, right? So if there's a tropical storm, let's say some of the models have one forming this next coming week. If something forms, usually at this time of the year they aren't powerful, it's not going to be a major disaster, but if one forms and moves into Louisiana, let's say, remember it's a 6-week cycle, so 6 weeks or especially 12 weeks from then, let's say something happens June 10th. July 10th is 30 days, August 10th is 61 days, August 10th would be 81 days. So that if there is a tropical storm that hits Louisiana or Texas or Florida or wherever in the next 10 days, just know at the end of August when we get close to peak hurricane season, The probability of another one in that same spot is actually 84% based on analysis of 25 other previous hurricane seasons. So it hasn't happened yet, but when you hear about an earlier tropical storm, it means it may actually happen bigger later in the season. Hurricane Katrina was a major disaster. Before Hurricane Katrina, you had Tropical Storm Arlene, okay? Before major Hurricane Harvey that came into Corpus Christi and Houston, we had Tropical Storm Cindy that was almost in the exact same spot. These happen all the time. So that's what we'll be looking for. Look for that in the next few weeks. And when they happen, we'll talk about it. But yeah, there's going to be that Texas, Louisiana area, which is interesting. If something comes into Texas, the chances of moving out towards the plains and bringing some summer rain is also possible.
Yeah, absolutely, especially as if they are those bigger name storms and stronger, they're obviously bringing up more water with them as they continue to move up into the Midwest. Absolutely. Any other highs, lows, anything else you're seeing in the weather this week, Gary?
Just a severe weather potential Tuesday, Thursday, Friday maybe. There's a couple systems coming our way. Beneficial rainfall, but maybe some severe weather too.
Perfect. Absolutely. And to all of you listeners out there, make sure that you go check out our show notes. We have that exclusive Cattle USA link for you guys down there to get that Weather 2020 dashboard. Go get that Global Predictor app on your phone. It is so handy to have. And if you just want the average one out there that's just like a monthly thing, it's less than a coffee. It costs less than my Starbucks refresher that I have right here.
Oh, yeah.
So it's absolutely worth it. And we have that link down in the show notes for you guys. Yes, I got a refresher. I already had a large coffee this morning and then another coffee. So I felt like it was...
What is in there?
Maybe not the smartest idea to have another coffee.
Right.
I don't know. It's strawberry. It's a strawberry acai refresher, whatever that means. I'm not sure what's in here. It's strawberry and some juices and...
So in other words, it's refreshing.
Whatever it is. It's pretty good.
You feel good.
It is.
Yeah.
I do. I feel good. It is quite refreshing. It's not quite as drying as coffee, maybe not as dehydrating. Maybe I'm hydrating myself now.
Good.
Or I'm just making myself think that I'm
I need to hydrate myself.
Go drink some water.
I need to hydrate myself because I'm going to have a couple martinis today. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to have a couple.
No one has to know. No one has to know.
Yeah.
I had a couple espresso martinis last night, and it was...
Ooh.
I haven't had an espresso martini in a long time.
Oh my
gosh. And I will say, the two it was girls' night last night, so we went to a new Mediterranean place in Manhattan, and it was chef's kiss. It was amazing, and I had a couple espresso martinis.
Wow.
I will say, I got back to bed that night, and I laid in bed for probably a solid hour before I could fall asleep.
There you
because
go.
I love the taste of an espresso martini, but it's a high and low at the same time. It's hard for me to fall asleep.
That's awesome. That means it was made right.
It was made right, and the foam on it was perfect. The picture was amazing that I took of it. It was great. It was
amazing.
High quality. I refer to my espresso martinis as my adult version of my Red Bull vodkas that I had when I was in college.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely better.
Now.
If they make them right, it's better than a Red Bull vodka.
Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is. It was so worth it. So
I had the Red Bull vodkas for a while.
Myself.
Yeah, I've done Red Bull vodkas.
They're delicious. They're just they're maybe not the best for you. Maybe not the best for your cardiovascular health, but neither here nor there. We're gonna get off of here, and Gary and I are gonna go enjoy martinis each. I'm going to lunch with my sister-in-law after this, so I'm gonna go probably enjoy a martini there. And
that's awesome.
It's Friday, and we hope that
I'll
we
give
are
you a
bringing
call later
our
on,
Friday.
and we'll compare notes.
I love it. That sounds great. Absolutely. I hope that to everyone listening, we are bringing our amazing Friday energy over into your Mondays, and that y'all have a great rest of your week. And we will see you all tomorrow on another episode of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. Have a good one, y'all. We'll see ya.